All right, so we're live now. Have it live chat with a guest. I've had you on before, up and coming, let's say prospect, because you've had your fourth pro fight you're going into now. Isn't the fourth or fifth?
This is the fourth.
Fourth pro fight, Nicola Hurricane Hopewell. Okay, so for those who don't know, she's actually fighting this coming Friday. Is it Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday night. It's on YouTube, so I have the link to that actually pinned. So it's a free night of boxing. So you can watch it on YouTube. I'm going to let you tell people a little bit about yourself, just kind of basically your boxing journey, how it started, how it's going, and just like a little bit about the fight that's upcoming and the card itself.
Okay. So I started about 6 years ago as an amateur, and I boxed for all the championships, box cups, everything like that. I ended up with like gold, silvers through the box cups. I ended up with 3 belts in the amateurs, and then decided to turn pro. Mm-hmm. So turned pro, I had my debut in March 2020, just before the pandemic. And then I've had 2 behind closed doors fights, which I boxed on Fight TV. And the last one, I headlined the all-female card, which was really good.
I remember that. I remember watching that.
You remember?
That was a first round knockout, wasn't
it? Second, that one.
Second round? I thought it was
second round knockout. Yeah. Second round, that one. And then, so I'm back out again on Saturday. So I'm boxing a Spanish girl this time. She's called Yvette Garcia. I've not seen much of her or heard much of her, but I do know that she's it's a debut fight, but she's was a good amateur national champion, so should be a really good fight, this one.
Was this opponent brought on a short notice, or did you know prior to that you'd have her, like this would be your opponent?
I knew this was going to be my opponent. I've known for since the show got announced, really.
That's great, to know. Do you think that, because all your fights have ended inside the distance, which is good, that you don't get paid for overtime. Yeah. But do you obviously think that this kind of on paper, even though it's a pro debut, knowing her amateur background, that this is a step up in class from what you have been fighting?
Yeah, definitely. What if she's a Spanish Spanish amateur national champion, I can see me getting the rounds in this time, and I do see it as a step up, yeah.
Which is good. Does that kind of add more to it? Obviously, when you're training for a fight, you're giving it your all, but knowing that you're going to be in there with someone who has that background and you knew it in advance, does it kind of give you that extra little bit of pep to do that extra mile or go the extra round?
Yeah, it makes you like you say, that makes you that extra mile on your run. It makes you do the extra rounds on the bag. Just push it a little bit more.
How's training been going, actually? Because obviously, with the fight up and coming, Fire's never going to say it went bad, but has it been going really well compared to other camps, or is it the same kind of routine? Have you kind of got into a mold with how you deal with the camps?
Yeah, I guess we do have probably a structured routine and stuff, and it's going really well, to be honest. I feel like it's gone as well as the last ones did, and I felt really good on my last few fights. So considering how it's gone again, I feel good. Feel ready to go.
Fingers crossed, obviously, because you were getting plenty of fights in for you, which is good.
Yeah.
Moving on from this, you have a fight in 3 weeks' time. What is the goal between kind of now, we'll say, the end of the year? Do you have a set number of fights that you want to get in, or are you just looking to progress in whatever way you can?
I think I've got this one. I've got one in 3 weeks' time, and then I should have 2 more before the end of the year. So if they happen, which I hope they do, I'll be busy. But it's never guaranteed, is it? So I'm just going to take it a fight at a time and focus on these 2 fights. With them being so close together, I'm coming straight out of one and then straight into other one. And the other one in September, that's another step up. I'm boxing for the WBL European belt on that one.
Is there even any time to rest? Even any time to rest between fights? Does your trainer say right, you got the win, take a week, or is he literally saying you've Sunday, back in the gym Monday?
It'll be back in the gym. We've got no time to rest on that one. No time to rest and have a nice McDonald's or like that.
No, straight back in. That's it's mad the way you were saying yourself, you could have potentially between now and the end of the year, you could potentially have 4 to 5 fights.
I could have 4, yeah. If they all go to plan, I'll have 4, yeah.
It's mad when you look at someone like, say, Ellie Scottney, who, like, she's had so much bad luck with fights, like, over the last few months, that she's had, like, 2 events where she's been on the card to fight and it's not happened. So
Yeah,
obviously, like, with yourself getting all these fights in, that's especially like nowadays where like there's not as many small hall shows. It's not like before, like in 2019, where like if you wanted to and you had the money, you could be doing it every week.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
it's
compared to like Ellie, she's not had that fights, has she? And there's a lot like it. There's a
mhm.
like I'm seeing it all the time.
Is it hard though, like to kind of, I don't want to say like to get up for a fight, like obviously it is, but does it ever kind of strike you as like, this fight is scheduled for, this day, but
Mhm.
it might not happen? Because Ellie Scottney, as far back as Monday, was still like ready to fight and it doesn't happen last minute. Is that ever a worry with like going into a fight, like knowing that you've done all the work and then for just that to kind of stop? And
Yeah,
hopefully it doesn't happen to you, but is it ever a worry?
yeah. It's always worry, and all mine that I have done, all three of them, they've all changed dates. And they've all been pushed back. And even this one was supposed to be on the 31st of July. And then it was the 10th of July, then the 31st of July, and now we're boxing Saturday. So this one's been moved. This is the third time. So you've always got to be prepared for it to move or be cancelled. And you've just got to, I guess, just get on with it and just get back in the gym and just wait for the new date.
It's the best kind of reason is to stay in shape, isn't it? Kind of because
Yeah.
like as you said, these dates chop and change.
Yeah.
So if it's a case of someone who just has a fight and then it's just like, right, I'm not gonna do anything after that, it's kind of shooting yourself in the foot because
Yeah.
you don't know when these dates can change. So do you kind of, even when you're not fighting, is it kind of just part of your lifestyle now? You just get up, run, train, gym, everything. Do
Yeah.
you, has it ever, if
Yeah,
you didn't do
you just
that, would
kind
it
of
be
get in a
different?
routine. You just kind of get in a routine, and probably when I know I haven't got a fight coming up, I won't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning just to do a run, and I'll still do it, but not every day. I will have a rest light, but then when I do go into camp, that's when I will step it up again. But even when I'm out of camp, I am always in the gym, just probably not doing as much and not pushing as hard, but I'm still there and I'm still doing stuff.
Do you ever find it hard, like, because you were saying to me the last time that you work as well. Does you ever find it hard to find that balance between getting enough training in, but work and balance as well? Because I know some people like over here who've done it, and they said that like come the end of fight camp, they're just shattered because they're trying
Yeah.
to juggle everything at once.
Yeah. So I've been lucky this time. I've had a few days off work. But when I say like a few days off, I mean like the odd Friday. Or this week I'm off Thursday and Friday, ready for my fight on Saturday. But yeah, it does get hard, and sometimes it can get hard as well. So if something happens at work and I can't log off on time, and then it makes me late for the gym, but then there's kids sessions going off, and then it's just like a domino effect. And then I get to gym and then I've missed my training, the kids are on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can be a nightmare sometimes, but you just have to put up with it.
Is the
Just
goal
work
like?
around it.
I know that's what a lot of people say, but is the goal in future, like maybe in the next year, to be able to maybe not make a living off boxing or anything like that, but maybe to be able to cut back on work
Maybe
and just
cut a few
focus
hours back.
primarily, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like obviously you've got some new sponsors now, haven't you? I think I seen.
Yeah, I got a new one this week actually. Goodwin Racing. So yeah,
It does help having all them
it does
kind of
help. Yeah.
support as well throughout the camp as well, and like that makes a massive difference. And hopefully, like the more exposure we get, like I said, I actually pinned a link to your fight this weekend in the chat. So if anyone wants to save it in like their watch later history, it's there, and it's free boxing as well. Just saying,
Yeah.
it's free boxing. One thing I got to ask you now, this is kind of not related to the you yourself. Well, it is and it isn't, but you were one of the few people who got a ticket to fight camp. You were there last week.
Yeah.
And look, I want to know because like my friend Ade is a presenter there, but as he says, he's doing work. I want to know what it was like for a fan. Was it worth the £750?
Yes. I absolutely loved it. It was, you can't buy that experience. It was just amazing, honestly. Like I went to fight camp because Ebony was boxing, and she's
A
a good
good
friend
friend
of
of
mine.
yours, isn't she?
Yeah, a really good friend of mine. So that's the reason I went. And yeah, the tickets are very pricey, but the whole night and the whole experience it was definitely worth it. And like, I wouldn't even hesitate if she was on another one of them cards. I'd be there straight away. I'd be buying tickets straight away, and I'd recommend it to anyone. Like, there were boxers there, like Dillian White and Joe Joyce, Kell Brook, just wandering around, like happy to have the photo taken with you. Yeah, it's an experience you can't buy.
How long were you there for? Like, obviously, did you stay after Ebony fought, like, for the whole thing? Did you spend time with her, or you stayed the whole way through? And it was just, I'd say it must have been crazy. Like, are you actually in, like, can you go into his house, or are you kind of brought?
No.
And I was wondering,
we
I
didn't go
actually
into his
thought
house.
he could. I actually thought he brought you all through his house and was like, this is where you die. I actually thought that.
No, we didn't go in his house, but yeah, when Ebony fought, she come out for a little bit. Well, she come out for the whole night, actually. And yeah, we just watched the fights and stuff afterwards, and we were there from, I think we got the shuttle bus at like 5, maybe 4:30, 5, and then we were there till the end, like right to the end, so till all the fights had finished. So we were there till about probably 11, half 11 time.
Did you go out with Ebony after, or were you looking at your fight?
No, she went back to chill because she was tired. When you just fought, like, I don't blame her. Need a shower and that, don't we?
You need to get a rest on that.
Yeah, need a rest.
What did you think of the fights that were on? Like, I'll get to Ebony, but the whole event, like, you stayed through. Did you see the Babbage fight? You know,
yes.
The two heavyweights knocking 8 lumps out of one another. What was that?
Yeah, like, I enjoyed that fight.
We watched that on TV.
Yeah.
And it was fun. But I can imagine being there, it was crazy. It looked like it was a good laugh for you guys.
Yeah, it was an entertaining fight.
You had one guy doing a Homer Simpson impression in there. That got to be entertaining. But in terms of Ebony, I want to ask, because she's obviously a good friend of yours.
Yeah.
How impressed were you with her performance against Beck Connolly? Because, like,
I was really impressed.
I've seen Beck a few times, and for her, she's known as like the short notice girl. She's fought at like much higher weights, and she's only been stopped at them. For her to have a full camp, probably fighting at her natural weight, and for Ebony to do that, that's impressive. That makes a statement.
Yeah, definitely made a statement, and I think we watched a few back, and Terry, she stopped her, but later in the later rounds, and Tasha stopped her, but I think that was in the 4th round, I believe. So for Ebony to go out and do what she did, and that performance, I thought she boxed amazing, and definitely made a statement that night. She showed what she can do. That girl can fight.
Because, like, Natasha Jonas is like a lightweight. She's big, very big for lightweight. Yeah. But Ebony is a bantamweight.
But
like, literally,
Ebony's
it's
the
massive
lightest
difference.
opponent, isn't it? Ebony's the lightest opponent, and stopped her.
And for her to have a full camp, so it wasn't like Beck was brought in, you know, okay, there's 10 days, get in there. And she had a full camp, couldn't have been any better prepared, and it was just over and done with. She never even looked like she was in the fight.
Yeah, definitely.
So spending time with Ebony, like, what's it like? I'd say it's an experience, because like, you and her are quite good friends. So obviously you sort of, when she was over here last time, which was fighting Shannon, you and her spent time together. What's it like? And when you're out and about with her, does she have do the fans just kind of flock towards her, or what way is it? Or does she kind of keep to herself?
Well, when she came up, when she fought Shannon, we went out for the day, and it was something I'd never experienced before. Like, we were just walking around York, and like people were coming up to us saying, "Oh, can I have a photo with you?" And I was like, oh, "I'm not used to this," but yeah, she gives everybody a time. Like, all the fans, she gives them the time, and yeah, just spending time with her, it's just amazing. And like, you can learn so much from her, but you don't realize you're learning stuff from her until like you think about it, like just the way she does things. But she, like, the weekend, that's obviously like it's got me ready for my fight. Like, the motivation.
I was gonna say, any extra motivation is gone now. Is there now?
Yeah, like no one can take that away. Like,
is Ebony going to your fight?
You what? Sorry.
Is Ebony going to your fight actually?
No, she's not now.
Is she actually? Eddie was saying he's trying to get her out on the Leeds card. I know she's a massive fan of Leeds, so that would be probably for her. That'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing if it could. Yeah, it would. Because she's a massive Leeds fan. She'll get all the Leeds supporters behind her. Like, I wish if he does get her on that card, I wish I could be there, but I can't.
No. Now, in terms of what like Ebony's doing for the sport,
Yeah.
because like I talked about this before, right? Is that a lot of my friends wouldn't really watch boxing. They'd know like the big names, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. They wouldn't really know kind of guys who were on. They wouldn't know like Alan Babbage or Kid Galahad who were on. They wouldn't know them. They know Ebony Bridges.
Yeah.
And they don't know pretty much any other female boxers other than Katie Taylor, Ebony Bridges. What she's doing in terms of promoting it, do you think that it's like, because you see some people say like, oh, she's only there because of this, that, and the other. But do you think that that's just a bit of jealousy at what she's doing for the sport? It's actually getting eyes on it because, as you said yourself, she's walking around. She's a teacher from Australia, and she's getting people everywhere just saying, "Can we get a picture?"
I think she's doing all the right things, and I think the people that are saying she's not, I think it's jealousy. I honestly do think it's a lot of jealousy because she's doing things that a lot of people aren't doing, and she's creating those opportunities for herself. And who can blame her? Like, she can do it. And the funny thing is, I've been to work today. I work in an office and I don't go in very often, but I've been in today. And there were so many people like that was there, and they was asking me how Ebony had done at the weekend. And then somebody did say to me today that she's doing things for female boxing, like Nicola Adams has done, like Katie Taylor's done, and for them to mention Ebony's name with Katie and Nicola, I think that's putting it out there of what she is actually doing.
I think that like as well, when you look at other sports when they were kind of in just their growing level, like I don't know if you ever watched darts, but when darts came about in like the 1970s, no one paid much attention to it until they got people who were larger than life characters almost to help grow it. And Ebony kind of strikes me as someone like that she's almost like, you've been around her, she's almost like a larger than life character. She just brings that aura wherever she goes. And that's more so what we need in a sport like female boxing, rather than, I'm going to say a conveyor belt of everyone kind of being the same. You need to add a bit of character into it. Yeah.
And something else, like Ebony's got time for anyone. She will help absolutely anyone. Another thing, that when she was staying here, when she fought Shannon earlier on in the year, I took her up to the Inclusive Hub at Liverpool because she supports them as well, with like disabled children, and we went up there and spent the day with them. So like anything like that, Ebony loves to help, and she will help anybody. And if I have any queries or questions or just want advice, she is always at the end of the phone. Like,
that's a great way. That's a great like friend to have as well. Like in the sport, helping you along just in every way. Like that's kind of what I think everyone needs. Like everyone in every aspect of life, whether it's in boxing or anything, like to have someone there for moral, mental support.
Yeah.
And you can't put a price on that.
She's definitely that. Yeah. And I appreciate her for that.
In terms of like you moving forward, like is the goal like to get her into one of your fights, like for her to kind of come and see you? Because you've seen her, but she hasn't seen you yet.
No, she's not seen me yet, but yeah, eventually, yeah.
I think it's like that'll probably bring out
I'd love
Nicola,
that, yeah.
Nicola Hopewell times 10 if she had Ebony there in the crowd.
Yeah.
In terms of like her fight with Shannon, everyone's been talking about a rematch on that. How did you see that first fight go? I felt that like Sky Sports were extremely harsh on Ebony with the commentary.
Yeah, I do as well, and it were a lot closer than what they gave it her. And I think she could have edged it. It was
that kind of fight where there was nip and tuck rounds in there, but if you listen to Sky, you'd swear it was one-way traffic. I mean, I used to laugh. I think I said it at the time that it was like when Shannon would land on Ebony, they'd call it. When Ebony would land on Shannon, Adam Smith turned into like what a marketing manager, PR, for saying, Shannon Courtney did this 5 years ago. It's like, shut up, mate, I'm watching the boxing.
Yeah, and you were like, you could see all Ebony's like tucks and her slips and everything like that. And there was no mention of it at all. And I think for like the first 3 rounds, it was like she weren't even there.
Yeah, literally every time she threw a punch, he would talk about Shannon's backstory. Yeah. It's like, mate, your commentator, like that is for the pre-fight
commentary.
Well, that's kind of Sky Sports in a nutshell with their commentary. I think the Zone, so far it is better with the commentary I've seen from them anyway.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed we don't get that. But if we do get Ebony Shannon again, because both of them are set to have like interim fights, hopefully they both win. How would you like to see that? Would you be in attendance for that? Because I don't think there was any fans allowed in last time when they
No, there
fought.
weren't. No, there weren't. Because if there were, I'd been there.
Straight away.
Yeah, straight away, first on list. Yeah, if it does happen, yeah, I'll definitely be there. And I think how Ebanie boxed on Saturday, it was so impressive, and you can tell that she'd had that full camp in Philly, and yeah, she'd win, Shannon, definitely.
Because the first time around, that was short notice for her, wasn't it? She had a fight in Australia, and then all of a sudden, literally had to hop on a plane.
Yeah, she was in Australia, and I think she only had 4 weeks, I think, and obviously she went to Philadelphia between that, so she went through 3 different time zones before she fought her. It's a lot, isn't it? But yeah, I think definitely if they were to fight again and she had a full camp, definitely, no question about it.
Right. In terms of yourself now, all right, because we got to go a few more people in the chat now. You're fighting this weekend, all right? Is there anything you want to kind of just say more about yourself, say more about the fight to people who are watching now? Because we got to go a few more people. So leave it to you. I'll let you plug yourself. Let you pick up yourself.
Well, yeah, I think it'll be a good fight. I think I'll get the rounds in this time. So tune in, because I'm hoping to get the rounds in. Yeah, I'm just excited, really. I'm really excited to be out again. I mean, it's not that long. It's only April, but yeah.
A fight's a fight.
A fight's a fight, and then obviously I'm out again in 3 weeks' time. So I'm excited to get this one done, out of the way, so then I can concentrate on September as well.
Is there still tickets available for your fight in 3 weeks' time? I don't think there's any more for this coming one, but is there still tickets available?
Yeah, there's still tickets available for the September one. If you contact me on Instagram or Twitter, I can help you out with it. There's a link where you can actually buy your tickets from. But if you're struggling, we'll sort it out and I can do it for you. But yeah.
Happy days. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave that there. But I appreciate you having it on. Is there anyone else you want to give a shout out to? Like sponsors, Ebanie, anyone they might see it? Floor's yours.
So I'll give Ebanie a shout out first. Just thank you for everything that she does for me, and well done at the weekend because she boxed amazing. And then I want to thank my sponsors. So KC Sofas, Richards Boxing, JTM Building, and then my new one that came on board at the weekend, which is Goodwin Racing. So thank you to them. And then I've got Notorious Fight Gear and Jack Ball Nutrition who supply me with equipment and nutrition supplements. So thanks to them as well.
Big up to those guys. That's why you can take the days off work.
Yes.
So big up to those guys. Well, Nicola, thanks again for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for giving me an insight into fight camp, because it's nice to hear what a fan's perspective was of it and how good it was. So
yeah, it was nice to be asked about it as well. Thank you for that. It was nice to be asked about it.
No problem. But next year when it comes around, you've sold me on it, so I'm good to go. If I have any doubts about doing it this year, I'll know next year. So definitely. But for now, lads, I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, I pinned a link to your fight this weekend. It's free on YouTube, so it's not going to cost a penny. You know, people paid for Michael Conlan's fight last weekend, so come on, this is free. So have a look at that. I'll keep it in. Well, I'll keep it in some of my videos because I'm going to get a few recorded after this. So I'll just give it a few little plugs in them. So hopefully, best of luck to you in the weekend. Hopefully you get the win. And you want the rounds, but hopefully you get the rounds, but you don't do overtime. So we get it there. For now, lads and lassies, everyone in the chat, thanks a mil for all yous. I'll talk to you.